Okay, here we go for the circle. Hey, guys, here we go. For the circle, again, there is a simple formula, all right, for a circle, and I'll need you to write this. It is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. All right, that is our equation of a circle. Now, so that's our equation. H and K is called the what? K is called the, very good, center, where R is called the what? Radius. All right, now again, guys, very, very, very simple. All right. Now, notice that this is negative H here, correct? But it's H here. And here it's negative K, but here it's what? That just means they're opposites of each other. All right, you'll be able to see that easily. All right, so for question number 1, all right, what's nice about it is that it's written in this format. All right, and this center is going to be what? For number 1, someone tell me. I don't see a 1 anywhere. What number's after the X? What number's after the Y?
K.
Very good. You guys are on a roll. 0, 0. All right.
Oh. Okay.
And so the radius is what? 7. Very good. All right. So the center would be located at 0, 0 with a radius of 7. Oh my goodness, come on. Listen, there's nothing to it. All right, 0, 0 is the center of the circle. The radius is 7. All I'm asking you is just pay attention for a few minutes. I'll show you it's simple. All right, so if we're going a little wild and crazy, number 2, what's the center of the circle? 0, 0, and the radius is what? 18. All right, how do I know it's 18? Because the square root of 324 is what? 18. All right, now if I ask you about question number 3, the center of the circle would be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, guys. Just be patient. Listen for minutes. And now R is, no, she's good at finding patterns. Leave her alone. R is equal to what? Square root of 183. The square root of 183. Now, again, remember what I was trying to tell you up here. X minus H, negative H and H, that relationship is they are opposites. Come on, wake up. It's already Tuesday. All right, number 4. If we were looking at this, the center would be what? And the radius is, I told you. All right, here we go. Number 5. And with a radius of, all right, number 7. 7. 0, negative 2. Radius is equal to 11. All right, now we have a problem. All right, so number 9. All right, this is not written in standard form. Standard form is what they consider this up here. All right, this is generally called the general form, but it's not even written properly because the X and Y's aren't grouped together. All right, so now I have to teach you how to go from this general form here to standard form. All right, and that's going to require you to remember a little bit from last year called completing the square. I told you last year, we don't really complete the square until you get to like an algebra 2 topic. All right, this is an algebra 2 topic where you're having to complete the square in order to write it in that standard form. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to group the x's together. Now, come on, this is what I expect everyone in here to be able to do. So just watch for a quick second and see if you're following. Group the x's together. So I'm going to put x squared plus 26x. Does everybody see that? Right, I had the negative 26 on the wrong side of the equation. Do we agree? So I moved it over. All right, then we leave a space. Y squared plus 28y. We leave a space equals negative 364. Now, why is it negative 364? Because I want the constant away from the variables. All right. Now, does anybody remember the rule for completing the square? That's correct. You always take half of b and then you square it. Now, what exactly is b from? Ax squared plus bx plus c. B was the number in front of the x term. All right, so what is b in this case?
26.
So what's 26 divided by 2? What's 13 squared? Right, so you're adding 169. So if you add 169 to the left, you have to add 169 to the what? To the right. Now, half of 28 squared, you're adding 196, adding 196. And now, if you simplify what's on the right, I believe that's a 1, correct? And now you factor the x squared plus 26x plus 169. What you did was by completing the square, you made it a perfect square. So I told you last year that it always factored into whatever the half was. What was the half of positive 26?
13.
Positive 13. Very good. So that's going to factor to x plus 13 squared. And then it's going to be plus y plus 14 squared. So again, all I'm teaching you is how to go from this form into the standard form. And now you can tell me that the center is what? And the radius is equal to what? I told you, very easy, very easy. All right, so let's take a quick look at number 11. All right, you always want your square terms to be positive. So I'm going to move the negative x squared over, and that's going to be x squared minus 6x, leave a space. Now I need to move the y squared because it's negative. So that's going to be a positive y squared and a what? Negative 32y, leave a space, equals negative 264. Does anybody have any problem with that? All right. No, half and square. What's half of 6 and squared? Right, so it's going to be x. Well, just put a plus 9 here, plus 9 here. Now what?
256.
Half of 32 is 16. 16 squared is plus 256
Where'd you get mine?
plus 9. Thank you.
On the side, yeah.
There you go. Thank you. All right. So now when you complete the square, this becomes x minus 3 squared plus y minus 16 squared equals, is that 1 again? 1. So now my center is what? And my radius is 1. That's how easy.
Is it x squared minus? Does it matter? How did you know it's x squared minus 3, not x squared plus 3?
Half of negative 6. It's always half of whatever the b is.
Uh,
All right, it factors to whatever that number is. But when you square it, it's always positive. Okay, so now it's us just sketching the graph. What's the center of number 13? So everybody plots a point, -1, +2. Now the radius is what? 3. So from the center, you go up 3, you go down 3, you go left and right 3. And then you draw your circle or sketch the circle as best you can.
Why did you go up 3 and
Because
down?
that's a radius. The radius is 3, correct?
Well, the radius is 9.
I can't help that. The radius is 3. This is 3. This is 3. The radius of the circle is 3. Anybody have any issues with graphing that? So if I was looking at 14, I would plot the point what? -2, -3, and then my radius is what? 2. So from there, you're going to go up 2, down 2, left 2, right 2. And there you have it. Come on, anybody have any trouble? I told you, very easy. All right. Now let's take a look at 16. Why is 16 annoying? Right, 8's not a perfect square. So what is the square root of 8 really close to? 3, right, because the square root of 9 is 3. 8 is close to 9. Therefore, the square root of 8 has to be close to 3. All right, so what's the center again? So everybody's going to plot the point -3, 3. And now you're going to go up the square root of 8, which I know is a little bit less than what? A little bit less than what? 3. That is correct. I don't care exactly. All right. If you want to put the square root of 8 on your calculator and see that it's like 2.82, I think, then it might be easier for you to graph. Right? Anybody have any problem with that? All right, again, it's very, very easy. All right, now if we were looking at number 18 is kind of annoying. All right, the center is what? -2.5, and then the y value is yeah, a little bit less than 4. Then from there, you go up 3, down 3, left 3, right 3.
It's not 2.5 squared for the first coordinate.
What?
5 divided by 2.
It's 2.5, that's correct.
Squared.
Did we do that on any of the others? Did we or not? Remember,
No,
it doesn't
no.
say, right, it doesn't say it's h squared. It just says it's h. Okay. Now, again, I'm getting a little carried away here on this second worksheet because I know how important this section is. It's always on the SATs. It's always on the ACTs. All right. So again, you have lots of practice. All right. It says for number 1, use the information provided to write the standard form. So here we go. We're going to practice again. We're going to write it in x minus h squared. Everybody should get in the habit of writing it at the top. X minus h squared. x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. That's your standard form. All right, I'll give you one more shot for number one, and then I'll go down and show you some other things. All right, so here we go. Putting the x and y's together, do we agree? So for this, I'm going to write x squared plus 8x, leave a space, plus y squared minus 2y, leave a space, equals 64. Does everybody agree with that? All right, help me with completing the square. Plus what? Plus 16. And then what? Then what? Don't say minus 1. It's never going to be negative because you're what? Squaring it. So this is plus 1. Now remember, it always factors to whatever the half was. So now we're going to write what? X plus 4 squared plus y what? Minus 1 squared equals, I think it's equal to 81. Anybody got a problem with that? Okay, now remember, this is what I keep saying. All right, we're getting the end of our time together. All right, if you don't speak up and you don't let me help you, I can't help you. I've done a whole lot of problems and I've asked, does anybody have any questions? Anybody need any help? And no one says anything. All right, and it's not doing any good to just write down what I'm saying. Yes, sir.
Why can't the plus one be a negative
What is negative 1 squared?
one?
1. That's why it's adding 1.
Why are we squared?
Because I'm trying to complete the square. I'm trying to convert this to this so I can find what the center of the circle is. Unless you can look at this right here and tell me what the center of the circle is. Can you look at that and tell me what the center of the circle is? No, you cannot. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because we're trying to figure out what the center of the circle is and what the radius is. To do that, you are completing the square. All right, that's the technique that we're using to figure out what the center and radius is. Yes, ma'am.
Did you explain 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11?
No, no. Does anybody else have any questions with number 1? All right, so now 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are the same principle. All right, I want that done. All right, now a little bit different. Now we're writing it again in standard form. So for question number 7, what is the center?
X plus 11.
Negative 11 and negative 8. So now what you're doing is you're going from the center, given the radius, into the equation. So remember, I told you the relationship between h and what's in the equation are opposites. So for question number 7, we all should be able to say, well, the circle, all right, the formula for the circle would be what? Yep, that's how simple that is. All right, you pulled the information out. Now they're asking you to put the information in. All right, that's it. Nothing to it. All right, so if I were to ask you about question number 8, the answer would be x plus 6 squared plus equals 5. That's how simple. There is nothing to it. There is nothing to it. All right. Now, translations are generally an Algebra 2 topic. All right. So I'm not really going to get into that. All right. I'm not really going to get into that. That's an Algebra 2 topic. All functions can be moved left and right, up and down quite easily. All right. And so let's talk about just for a quick second. If I'm going to move something to the left 4, all right. Now, does everybody understand? Please look up here. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, correct? So notice h and k were opposites, correct? So do you see that the center of this is 16, correct? However, inside it's what? Right. So if you look at this and you say that's really 16, all right, that's moving from the origin what? To the right 16. Do we agree? So you have to understand when you're moving something to the right, inside the parentheses, it's always the opposite direction. All right. So if I want to translate something to the left 4, that means I'm moving what? To the left 4, correct? So that means in the equation, I'm going to have to do what? I'm going to have to add 4. Thank you very much for those of you guys who are listening. So if I want to translate something 4 units to the left, I simply add 4 in the parentheses. So that's why technically this is x minus 12 squared. If I want to go up 2 inside the parentheses, I have to go what? Down 2. That's correct. So this would be y minus 8 squared equals 1. All right, that's just for those of you guys who are thinking about next year. That's what you guys will be discussing when you're doing transformations. On our little quiz, that won't be on there, all right, at all. All right, so now the hard part. I need someone to visualize and help me find the center of the circle for 11. And then I need you to tell me what the radius is. Everybody, come on, number 11, what's the center? Anybody else agree at 0, 3?
Yes.
All right, and then if it's 0, 3, then what's the radius?
Yeah.
Don't say 6 just because he said 6.
You just want 6.
No, it's
What are y'all talking about?
Count from the center out. 30.
No, it's definitely not.
Oh, no, it's 3.
The radius is definitely 3.
Oh, because look at the numbers
From
on
the
the graph.
center, here we go, we're going this direction.
You said 3.
So the equation will be x squared plus y minus 3 squared equals what? 9. That is correct. All right, just to make sure you're understanding, let's look at number 12. What is the center of the circle? 4, -3, and the radius is what? What's the radius?
This is approximately 1.
1. Right? And again, you have to read the axes carefully. The radius is 1. So what is the equation? X what? X minus 4 squared plus
3.
equals 1. Perfect. Very simple, I agree. Okay, so now here's where we have a little bit of a problem. All right. So again, all right. Everybody should be able to say this is -17, -9. This is -19, -9. So what is the center? Look, I can't really help you with that. The center is -18, -9. Now, some of you looking at that like that was obvious. All right, but remember, it's just a midpoint. All right, the center is the midpoint of the endpoints of the diameter. All right, so if you forgot what midpoint is, remember midpoint is just an average. X plus X divided by 2, Y plus Y divided by 2. And of course, that should be a 1 and a 2 as subscripts, but I'm lazy, so I usually don't put those in there. So if you forgot midpoint, there it is. All right, that's the midpoint. All right, so now we can simply go what? X plus 18 squared plus y plus 9 squared equals. Now, what's the distance from negative 17, negative 9 to negative 18, negative 9? 1 unit. Do we agree? If that's 1 unit, that's the radius, correct? And the radius squared is what? 1 as well. All right, anybody have any issues with that? Now 14, a little bit harder. All right, so let's please, everybody look at number 14. All right, I told you the midpoint is the center. So please tell me what the center is. 0, comma,
Negative.
somebody said 0, comma, -1. Anybody agree with that? Anybody? All right, so now let's write the equation. X squared plus y plus 1 squared. I don't know what the radius is. I don't know what the radius is because -3, 11 is up here, and 3, -13 would be way down here. Does everybody agree with that? All right, so here's the center. All right, now watch how simple it is to calculate what R is. Does everybody agree this is a point on the circle? So I can plug -3 in for X and 11 in for Y, and then I can calculate what R is. So parentheses, -3 squared plus parentheses, 11 plus 1 squared equals R squared. 9 plus 144 equals R squared equals 153. Do I really care about what R is? Nope, I don't. R squared goes in here. All right, now I'm agreeing with you. That was a little bit harder. All right, so let me say it one more time. All I'm doing is I'm plugging -3 in for X and 11 in for Y. And then I just solve for R squared. So my equation is X squared plus Y plus 1 squared equals 153.
When do you know that you can do that?
Well, it's not a matter of when I can do it, it's what they are asking me for. You with me? I'm trying to write the equation of the circle given this information.
That's it.
Okay. No. Okay, so let me help you with 15 because all these are kind of important. All right, everybody's looking at 15. So everybody should be able to write it real quick, right off the bat. So I have X what? Plus 15 squared plus what? Y minus 3 radical 7 squared equals R squared. Do we agree? Now it says the area is what? Area is 2 pi. So pi R squared equals 2 pi. Does everybody agree with that? Hello? Divide by pi. R squared equals what? What am I looking for? I'm looking for R squared. So what is R squared? So this value right here can be replaced with what? 2. So my answer is X plus 15 squared plus Y minus 3 radical 7 squared equals 2. Is everybody good with that? That's your answer. All right, so here we go with 17. Come on, write the first part. Go. Come on. X plus 5 squared. No. Plus Y minus 12 squared equals R squared. And then they give us the circumference. Circumference is equal to 2 pi R. Therefore, the radius must have been what? 4. The radius is 4. Do we agree with this? So if the radius is 4, then R squared is what? So I can come up here, cross out R squared, and just put a what? And that's my answer. That's it. Come on now, I'm going through, zipping through here. All right, and just writing things down is not helping. I'm trying to convince some of you of that. It told me what the circumference was. You're supposed to say, how did you get R? Do you see how I got R, given the circumference? There's a circumference formula, 2 pi R. Agreed? 8 pi equals 2 pi R. Solve for R, what did I get? Come on. Agreed? All right, let's check out 19. All right, let's write the equation real quick. Let's go. X what? Come on, equals R squared. So what do you think I do with the point? Plug it in. Plug -7 in for what? And -1 in for what? Come on, guys, plug that in real quick. What do I get? Good job. 81 plus 16 equals R squared. So R squared equals what? 97. So I just cross out the R squared and put what? And there you have it. Okay. These are the ones that are kind of cool that people miss all the time. Look at 21. All right, so here we go. Just for fun, look how simple this is. Where is -15, 9? We don't have to count out -15 and count up 9. Just come on, put -15, 9 is right there. -15, 9 is right there. Does we agree? Does everybody understand me on that? Now it's tangent. What does tangent mean? Well, in that context, you are correct, but in the context of this problem, you are incorrect. Tangent. It's tangent to x equals -17. What? It only touches it once. It touches what? The line x equals -17. Here is the line x equals -17. So if it only touches that at one spot, what is the radius? 2. How do I know that? Watch, guys. I'm going to draw the circle. I'm going to make it tangent. Boom, there it is. So that means from here to here is how many units? 2. Come on, you can't know it unless you draw it out. No one looks at that and say, oh, obviously it's 2. You don't do that. You put a center, you draw x equals -17, and you count to x equals -17. And that was 2. So my equation is x plus 15 squared plus y minus 9 squared equals 4. Anybody got a problem with that? Anybody? All right, here we go. So 23 is nice. The center lies on the x-axis. So I don't know what that means, but I'm going to make this, all right, just for a visual. And then here's my center. Where is my center? Somewhere on the x-axis. I have no idea where, but I know it's tangent to x equals 7. So here is x equals 7. And here is x equals -13. So if it's tangent to that, that means I have to draw a circle that touches both of those lines at exactly one spot. So what is my radius, or what's my center? Somebody tell me what the center is based off of my great picture.
Zero.
Say it again, please. I said, give me a center. Center is not a 3 or a 9 or a -30. My center is -30. What I'm trying to convince you of is you just can't look at that and say, that's the answer. If you don't draw the picture, you can't see it. And some of you just want to know the answer. I drew it out. Look how easy it is. So now x plus 3 squared plus y squared equals. Now, this center is -3 comma 0. So what is my radius? 10. How did I know that? Well, from -3, 0 to -13 is how many units? 10. Or from -3 to 7 is how many? 10. So that makes 100 because 10 squared is 100. All right, you guys are amazing. If you understand that, you are in outstanding shape. All right, I know that's a lot of information. All right, it's all derived from a basic formula. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now, please finish up. All right, finish up. All right, get to work. You got all that to do. Great work today. I don't know what time's the bell